Hello and welcome to this bonus episode of the Gazette's Hockey Inside Out Show. I'm Stu Cowan of the Gazette, and I'm joined by my regular partners here, former Canadiens teammates and 1986 Stanley Cup champs, Chris Nilan and Rick Green. Well, Mike Matheson revealed recently on the Spittin' Chicklets podcast that his nickname with his teammates is Billy, after the Billy Madison movie with Adam Sandler. Apparently, former teammate Mike Hoffman gave him that nickname. Knuckles, you have one of the best nicknames in hockey. Who gave you that?
I got that in college. Jerry Dwyer, a friend of mine, teammate. I ended up in the hospital. I had a fight off the ice. That's why they should have let fighting in college hockey, because I didn't get any of that on the ice. I had to get it off the ice. I ended up with teeth in my hand. I ended up in the hospital. So that, and then I used to come into practice. If I got in a beef, my hand would be cut up or I'd be nicked up, and Jerry would see my hand. He'd say, "Geez, what the hell? Knuckles, what are you doing with the knuckles?" And that's how the nickname came. A lot of people think I got in the NHL. I got it in college from Jerry. But, yeah, nicknames, there's some good ones. There's no question. I gave a few, and they were fun.
What's the best one you give?
Peckerhead.
For who?
Peter Svoboda.
Peter Svoboda, oh.
Peckerhead. And then I gave one Mike McPhee. Like, I didn't know much about the geography of Canada when I first came here. And Mike was from Cape Breton. And I thought, oh, okay. I was thinking, I heard PEI, the potatoes, right? I thought it was PEI. So I started calling him Spud. And he's looking at me like, Spud? Where's Spud come from? I said, they grow potatoes where you're from. And he said, no, I'm from Cape Breton. There's no potatoes there. They're in PEI. But Spud stuck, right?
Do you still call Svoboda Peckerhead when you see him now?
Sometimes when we're golfing.
When he outdrives you.
Did Rick have a nickname, Knuckles?
Yeah, Greenie.
Yeah.
Really creative.
It's funny because,
Legion Vert.
Over the course of the years, right, you get all kinds of names that come up, and some kind of stuck with you. And, I don't remember Gordy Lane I played with in Washington before he got sick and tired of losing so much. He retired and won 4 cups with the Islanders. But anyways, Gordy, when you would talk to him, he would stutter. So, he got the name Piggy. Everybody called him Piggy, that's all, folks. And I thought it was kind of cruel, but, that's what they call him. And unfortunately, I had to play with him a number of times. And by the time he told me heads up, it was too late. I was already smashed into the end boards. But anyways, a lot of great guys with a lot of good names. And, we enjoyed that part of the game also.
Yeah, Brian Skrudland, right? He had Screwy, but he also had Chopper. We call him Chopper because he chop everybody. Chopper was a pretty good one. Patrick was Corso, right? Patrick Waugh. Corso. Who else? Yes.
Did you guys just call Guy Lafleur was just Flower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, it ended up Mike Lawler, who regularly, I don't know whether it was because he was a big diet guy and maybe it was the fiber that he ate, but he used to pass gas like more than his share in the room. So he ended up nicknaming Dirt Lawler.
Yeah, Dirt. That was a good one. But, a lot of them, like Chelly was Chelly.
Yeah.
Think who else? Spud, Wally, Ryan Walter was Wally.
Bob Gainey have a nickname?
Bo.
Oh, okay.
The little Viking, petite Viking.
Oh, yeah, Matt Snaslin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we never called him like, hey, Viking. It was always like Matt's,
Mm-hmm.
Mati.
I know with you, Knuckles, and I've learned this, with you, it's Knuckles or Chris, right? You hate being called Nilan. Why is that? I'm afraid to call you that now.
I think it's disrespectful to call someone by their last name. I just do. I always did. I never call people by their last name. Now, I'll say Greenie because it's his nickname.
Yeah.
and he's okay with that, you know. But I was, hey, Green, like, hey, Cowan. I just think it's disrespectful. I don't like that.
What was the worst nickname, Rick, you remember a teammate having, one that a guy maybe hated? I imagine Peter Svoboda didn't love Peckerhead.
Yeah, you know, not one really stands out, but I know that the Peckerhead one was like, when he came up with that one, I going, oh man, you know, cruel guy again to one of his teammates. But yeah, nothing jumps out, you know, at this point that made me go, oh, that's terrible.
What was Jean Perron's nickname, Knuckles?
Puddinghead.
Puddinghead. Did you give him that one? Was there? I don't imagine a lot of coaches had nicknames, did they?
Pat Burns, Burnsy, Petit Tig, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How about Coco, Jacques Lemaire, Coco?
Yeah.
Tommy McVie was called the Clown. The Clown. He could put 2 pucks in his mouth.
The Petit Tig, you played for him, eh, Knuckles?
Yeah, I did in New York. I loved playing for him. I loved him.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. When we used to play Quebec, I used to skate around the warm-up. He'd always look at me and wink. He did. Like, he liked me. The guy he wanted to get was Mario. Like, he always got under Mario's skin. You know, he'd yell shit to him, but he never bothered me. He was always friendly to me and nice to me. Probably trying to put me to sleep, but he never did.
I watched the Claude Lemieux documentary on Crave, Knuckles, the other night. I mean, you were part of it, and so was Stéphane Richer. And how did he get his? It was Coco, right?
Pepe.
Pepe. Yeah. How'd that come along?
Pepe Le Pew.
Okay.
Pepe Lemieux. Pepe Le Pew.
All right. Yeah, that was that series was quite good for people. For people who haven't watched it yet. And one of the things they brought up with him is him not being in the Hall of Fame, which is surprising, I would think, Knuckles.
Yeah, right? Like, come on. What that guy did in the playoffs is incredible. Mm-hmm. And how many cups he won and, like, what he brought to a team. You know, the famous was Herb Brooks saying he's a cancer. And then they fired Herb Brooks right afterwards, right? And they hired Lemaire. And then look what happens in New Jersey. The change, but Pepe, man, when it counted, hello. And listen, I'll say it right here that a lot of guys didn't like some of the antics, his teammates, but you put up with them because you knew what was coming. You know, 86, and I always say it. Patrick was unbelievable. We had a really good defensive team, but and he made that first save. He didn't have to make a lot of second saves because we had big defensemen like Greenie moving the puck out of there. We were a good defensive team. But Claude Lemieux, man, I know they were 1-2 in Conn Smythe. They should have split that trophy that year. Pep had 5 game-winning goals.
Yeah.
5 in the playoffs as a rookie.
Yeah. Well, for people who haven't watched that series yet, it's fantastic. The episode on Knuckles is great. The one on Richer is really good. And the one on Lemieux is really good, too. And Lou Lamoriello is talking about how much he loved Claude Lemieux, and he loved what people hated about Claude Lemieux. And then that's when he got him with the Devils, and the Devils went on to win the Cup. And then Serge Savard said, I've made mistakes in my life, and that was one of the biggest ones, was trading Claude Lemieux to New Jersey. Anyway, I think we can agree. I think it's surprising he's not in the Hall of Fame, but that's maybe an episode for another day. Anyway, that's it for this Hockey Inside Out Show bonus episode. We'll be back with our regular weekly Hockey Inside Out Show on Wednesday. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the Hockey Inside Out YouTube channel. And if you didn't know already, Hockey Inside Out is now available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can watch us there also.